Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Fete Finder feature. Today we have the representative of Hookie Life Entertainment, Jason.
What's up, people?
What's good, bro? Yo, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, you know. We haven't had a lot of time to actually connect and stuff.
Yeah, I've been trying to get this interview for.
Yeah.
The producers are mad at you, bro.
Hey, what can I say? Who's been busy? All over doing a lot of different things. You would think with 5 of us it'd be easy to work this out.
Yes.
But, we work it out. We get it done eventually. You know, I gotta come through and bless the family.
Gotcha, man. I'm happy to have you here, man. This is actually, it's my pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thanks, man. No, I'm happy to participate, man.
Gotcha.
Trust me.
So tell us a little bit about how Hookie got started.
Well, it's actually an interesting story. It's a rather long story, so I'm gonna, truncate it a little bit here. Well, basically, as you mentioned, Hookie is myself and 4 other business partners, Hector, Alex, Todd, and Kevin.
Okay.
Now, it's unique in the sense that Hector and Alex, I actually went to University of Maryland with. Big up the Terps, by the way. So we started throwing parties back in undergrad days. That was just something we did under Mystic Vibes.
Okay.
And basically, Todd and Kevin, believe it or not, we actually grew up together in St. Croix. So I've known those cats for
a long time,
20, 30 years, probably more. And what was happening is back in about, I'd say like 2009, 2010, Hector and Alex were busy throwing their parties under Mystic Vibes. Todd and Kevin were throwing parties under Dark Water Entertainment. Well, lo and behold, I'm close with both groups. And when they realized that I was involved with both, they were like, well, Jason, you want to come, work with us a little bit? And I actually started out at first as not a full partner. I was doing a lot in my life at the time. The job that I had at the time required a lot of traveling and stuff like that. So I was like, guys, I'll jump on, help promote stuff like that. Over the course of the next several months or whatever, basically we decided to come together and officially form the group. The group. That's now known as Hookie Boys.
We just gonna know the group right now.
So that was the crux of it. Basically, if you want to fast forward now to around 2010, after the unfortunate cessation of DC's Caribbean Carnival. One evening, I forget.
Rest in peace to the guys.
It's unfortunate.
I know you're still out there, but
it's unfortunate.
Yes,
but I
hard.
look at it as a gift and a curse, because without that, who's to say Hookie Life would be here right now? You know what I'm saying? But basically, one night we were doing kind of what we normally do, sitting down having some drinks, and Hector, who is kind of the mastermind, if you will, behind everything, he was like, yo, we need to do something to kind of keep the weekend open. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it comes back in a year from now, 2 years from now, who knew that it'd be 10 years on and still isn't back, right? So basically, he came up with this concept. I forgot. I'm not even sure. It just popped up in his head, to be honest with you. This was just like out of the blue. And he's like, yo, why don't we throw a party on a Friday? And we were like, okay. Expand. He was
Please
like,
explain.
Literally. I mean, so you're quite familiar with my team. And you know how we all are. So
I love you guys. Yes.
And Hector throws this dime on the table, and we're like, okay, expand. And he's like, yo, we throw a party. Let's do a pool party. And he's like, we'll do it from noon to 8 p.m. Hold up, pause, pump your brakes. It's a Friday, right? People gotta work. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's why we're gonna call it hooky. You play, like when you play hooky from school, you can play hooky from work. He's like, who wouldn't want to take a couple hours off and whatever during the summer just to celebrate Caribbean culture and stuff like that? Yeah. Then the light bills went off. So we're like, cool, everybody on board, whatever. And basically, they started planning and all that kind of stuff. And I, at the time, was still not 100% involved because I was still working.
Gotcha.
So the first year comes around, of course, and here we have Hookie. And I swear to you, if we had 120 people there, it was a lot, right? So we were like, well, maybe this wasn't going to work out. But, you know, like they say, you know, you're going to fail 2 times.
Growing pains.
Yeah, 2 times for every, you know, or 10 times for every 1 time you succeed. I don't know what the exact quote is, but. So, yeah, and we stuck at it. And, you know, gradually over the years, it's developed into what it's become now.
Something
and you're
amazing.
quite familiar with
Yes.
it. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing. I often, you know, I joke around, but in honesty, I'm very serious. Like, Hookie has become its own thing.
I'm the staple of the DMV right now.
It's like when you watch a baby grow up and they leave the house, and you're like, I can't control you no more. You're just gonna do what you do, you know.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure you're okay.
Definitely.
You know, help you out. But it's continued to just, you know, surprise me year after year on, you know, just the scope that it's grown to, the different things that we've started to incorporate into it, even just to the reach that it's had.
Yes.
You know, we've been fortunate to have a very, very loyal crowd and following, and
Definitely.
people have stuck with us through the years, through hills
I'm
and
for one.
valleys. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, even our hiccups, you know, like I said, you know, it takes growing pains, and you know, there have been times that we haven't delivered on what we expected, and people still rock with us till we got to the point where we could deliver more than they expected.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's the goal and the effort that we try to live on a daily basis. Is like, you know, we want to give people something to look forward to, that they can have a good time and feel comfortable about spending their hard-earned money. Because I'm not going to ask you for you to give up the money that you spent all day yelling at the
And
kids
give you
and all
nothing.
that kind of stuff, and give you nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been fortunate to be able to provide something like that to, you know, people in the DMV, especially where we you know, we don't have a carnival, you know. We had to wait till, you know, Labor Day or Miami or out of town or whatever. So we've been blessed in that respect, and also been blessed with a great crowd of people, great circle of friends who supported us and carried us along the way. So for me, I couldn't be happier with where we are, and the plans for the future are you know, limitless in my opinion.
Yep, always, because I for one, I'm going to support y'all till I'm in my grave. Like, I have my own memories from Hookie, because my first Hookie was 2012. Honestly, I moved to DC 2011, just after. I didn't move. I was visiting.
Remember it well.
Yeah, because you know, I don't got no filter. So when I came to DC, I was at Skyline. I walked in the Skyline by myself, didn't care. You know, New York in me was like, all right, cool, whatever, I'm here. All right. A couple of people came up to me, one person in particular, and was like, yo, roll with me, I'm gonna show you the ropes of DC. And I was like, I bet, I'm a party, I want a Fete. Like, I need Caribbean, I need Fetes.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, cool, I got you. You know, I'm such and such, and this is it. I'm like, I bet, no problem, bro. So we get there, and everybody else is like, yo, did you tell him about Hookie? And I'm listening, I'm like, what? What's that? So I leave, I come back. I still stay connected and stuff like that. Come back 2012, right? Skyline, that was just before, because I remembered Skyline. They used to do the joint on Sundays and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So then, I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit cool soon. So I go to Skyline again, see the same people, and they say, Hookie, go to Hookie, you're gonna have fun, So I go, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna experience this. So I walk in the Hookie by myself, and I'm like, bruh, what in the world have I been missing? Actually, I ain't walking by myself. I think I helped y'all set up that year. I helped y'all set up, do that person. I helped y'all set up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, I was blowing up balloons and shit.
Yeah, that was when we had to put the balloons up on the little stage, and when they had the,
Yes.
I
and
very
got
much
shitted on
remember
after that. But
but yeah.
it got you. So I go, but it still was a blast.
Yeah.
Because every Hookie is better than the last. And
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So this is what...
I'll be honest with you, I ain't always felt that way, but I appreciate you saying that.
Because you're in it.
Well, yeah.
You're your own biggest critics.
Yeah, exactly.
We are our own biggest critics, and that is understandable. So, even modeling myself, because I told you this before, you guys as a business have been through y'all rocky moments, and now y'all are, well, my household name. So
I appreciate it.
So I'm gonna be real, bro. Like, if I tell anybody, you know by now, I am promoting y'all heavy, whether it's posting my social media, my personal social media page, to just memories I have with you guys. And shoot, I just found some memories like today.
Yeah.
So,
man, I got thousands of pictures. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you and 25-30% of them.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Miami Carnival to,
yeah, like you rock with us, man, and you know
Always.
that means a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like as an individual trying to build a business and trying to give people something they can look forward to, man.
and remember.
You know, I mean, you know, just a sidebar real quick. I mean, I know people who have met their wives at Hookie.
Yes.
You know, and to think that, you know, whatever minor role I may have had in that by just throwing a party is still important, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you're spreading that love, you know what I'm saying? You can't feel nothing but love when you're at Hookie.
Yes.
You know what I'm
can't be
saying?
mad. You can't be.
Yeah,
That was
like-
Hookie.
Like that's the one thing, and you know, like that's why we try so hard to make it different. You know what I'm saying? And do different things for you guys, and try to come up with concepts that will make people want to come back and make people want to participate. You know, it's funny because even though we throw this as a business or whatever, you know, we always are willing to have people come and help out if they're just interested. If you have an interest in Caribbean culture and spreading that, like that's what we're about. At the end of the day, our goal or our mission when we started was to keep perpetuating Caribbean music, Caribbean culture, carnival culture to the masses. And I mean worldwide. If I could get Hookie in Tokyo, best darn believe we're gonna have Hookie in Tokyo. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
and I'm be there.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, you know, it's funny because a lot of people always say, "Oh, you just want to party and da 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 da." Listen, to me, the party is the benefit of what you do.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, if I can bring more awareness to not only just the culture, but awareness to the Washington metropolitan area.
I'm gonna clap for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I feel that the DMV has gotten kind of the shaft when it comes to recognition as far as Caribbean culture.
I understand that.
We're an afterthought because we don't have a carnival no more, right? But the reality of the situation is there's quality events here.
Yes.
There's a population and a fan base here. And, you know, people start to pay attention, you know, and whatever little role that we may have played in that, that's all that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, I want you to say, oh, you got Labor Day. Oh, you got Carolina, you got Atlanta, you got Miami. But when you think about DC,
They Hookie.
you know, I mean, it wasn't intended to be that way, but if it is what it is, let's keep it pumping. You know what I'm saying?
Because even thinking now, it's like, man, there's so much nostalgia I have with Hookie. Like, it's crazy. Like the emotions that come with it.
Yeah.
Because I know I came from with you guys, as well as being that, I'm gonna be real, I felt like a groupie. I'm gonna be real.
No, man.
I felt like a groupie because the situation I was in, it was like, oh God, I got something great. And I just want to help out any way I can.
Yeah.
I need promotions, anything. And I was nobody. I knew nothing. So I was like, okay, but I want to watch and see what's going on, even down to the company I have now with Fete Finders.
Exactly.
And when I presented you the idea, you was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm here.
Exactly. But I mean, like, dude, I mean, everybody knows your attitude and your enthusiasm is infectious. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why when you turn up in a party, people take notice.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's facts. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, that drive that you have, it doesn't surprise me that Fete Finders is where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when we had the conversation when you were thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
You were one of the first people I told about it.
Exactly. And I don't know if you remember what I told you, but I was like, listen, bro, people gonna always have something to say, but once you keep pushing and keep that positive attitude, it's gonna blow up for you regardless. And I'm happy that I helped you do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Definitely.
Like, and that's not trying to say like Hookie did anything like that, but I'm just saying, for me to be able to watch you build and create another black-owned business, this is what we got to do. Listen, our allies, our friends, I'm with you. We're not saying anything, but it's always good to see a young brother do big things. So that's my piece on that. No offense.
Yes, you got to shoot the disclaimers out there.
Exactly.
At the same time, it's like, I got to give credit where credit is due. At the same time, because nobody would know that the actual initial conversation before, it was like, don't get me wrong, there's people that I've talked to that I go to Miami with all the time, and shout out to Chris and Tammy and everybody. Shout out to Chanel. But when it came down to talking to you guys, in that moment I brought it to you guys, and everybody was like, we can see it. We can see it.
You can see it.
Before it was even nothing. And then I came out with the shirts and you was like, oh, he did it.
And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And look, bro, like that motivation right there is half the battle. The next part is having a good squad around you, a good team. You know what I'm saying? And we know you got a good team around you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So like from especially being in the entertainment business or the promotion game or whatever, it's really about having that team that can facilitate a vision that you put on the table, right? The reality of the situation is, we may be the owners, but it takes a village, right? You know, people have their lanes. You have to know what people are good at, and you just put all your faith in them. You know, and once you trust your team that you work with, you got nothing to worry about. And the beauty of it, this is the single greatest part of what I do. I get to do it with people I love.
True. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? This isn't GE or AT&T where some corporate thing. I don't know the cat in marketing. I don't know the cat in this. This is people I love. People, you know, that I've invested time, treasure, blood, sweat, and tears with, and for us going through that, including yourself. You just said you helped us set up before. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure I was looking like I was struggling. You know what I'm saying?
The balloon part was so hard.
But that's what I'm saying. It in the long run, the more we come together and understand everybody has a niche, everybody do anything, and we work together, this promotion game, it got more than enough bread for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, us helping you, you helping us, whatever, as long as we come together, we make the DMV stronger.
Definitely. Where do you see yourself? Like, I'll even switch it. What does it take to throw an event like Hookie? What matters to you the most, or you guys the most, when it comes to the prep and planning?
That's a tough one, because as you can imagine, especially with something like Hookie, you're literally, for the most part, building a venue from scratch. So I'll say primary concern always is safety.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I mean, the safety of our patrons is, you can't put a value on that. So at the end of the day, we have to ensure that we're providing a safe space for people to interact, to have fun, that kind of thing. So, you know, I think one of our biggest concerns is usually a venue and certain attributes of a venue. All right. You know, the venue process, especially when you start talking about hooky, numbers play a big role.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It has grown over the years.
You know, when we were at Skyline, it was all great. You know, you got a little 700, 800 people. You start pushing up on 2,500 around that pool.
Nobody get in the pool.
Nobody in the pool. And, you know, it tends to become... Then at that point, you know, even at Skyline with a building that has their own infrastructure and stuff, even then that becomes a safety issue.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So venue is probably the one thing that's, you know, of the biggest concern for us normally, because we are limited within this area in terms of viable venues for the types of events that we throw, especially that scale.
Yes.
Other venues, there are other ones, but sometimes they can be prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
You know, next to the safety issue and venue, I would probably have to say it would be the entertainment, because ultimately that's about 50 to 60% of what people are coming out for.
Yes, they're coming out for the
You
DJs,
know, the DJs, the artists, you know, the vibe, whoever, the hype
the
guy,
hype man
the
is.
Hype man, well, it's Barry or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Barry Hype.
Yeah, big up Barry Hype. Been working with us for years. He's actually been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Barry always been a good brethren to us, you know, giving us advice and stuff, because, you know, he got years in the game too. And that goes back to what I was speaking, you know, each one teach one. You know? He's hipped us to some things.
That's a blessing.
And, you know, we pass it on. But yeah, you know, like entertainment is huge. I mean, you got to get the right people, and not only that, it's also the construction of that lineup, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody anybody can throw money and get a bunch of artists or whatever if you have the money. But it's really thinking about your lineup, what the
order,
not even just the order, but just the blend and the styles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, the Caribbean is a very diverse place, lots of islands, you know what I'm saying? And you got artists from all of these islands, you know? You got artists from the Virgin Islands, from Grenada, from St. Lucia, from Trinidad. You know, it's not the monolith it once was, where all the music are really just, you know, pretty much predominantly coming out of one location. So you have to consider that. And when you look at a location like the District of Columbia, the DMV, we represent the Caribbean very much like any other major city. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what people forget.
Yeah, you know. This is a fact that I found out actually from Hector. People probably don't realize this, but there are 1 million people in this area that are of Caribbean descent, whether it's like first generation, second generation. So that's some pretty serious clout, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it. So, you know, constructing that lineup and picking the right artists, and also just even the style of soca, or do you throw in a reggae artist? You never know.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And it all depends on the event, the venue, what you're trying to accomplish, who your audience is, and that's one of the things we do, is sit down and try to figure out for each event what we're doing, because as you have been to, you know, the vibe you get at Hookie to the vibe you get at Havana Nights are two completely different things. You know what I'm saying? They're both a lot of fun and a lot of energy, but it's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things we try to do, is just give people something different, something to remember, something that you're going to want to come back.
Like I said, I always want to come back, and it's always better than the last. Like, I remember, like, one Hookie, it rained.
2013.
2013, yeah.
Tsunami. We call it the tsunami. No, what we call it? The typhoon. I forget. We have a term that we use as the Hookie boys. We're like, yeah, that's like a monsoon year. That's what they call it, monsoon year.
Because we stayed and we fed and we fed.
I remember that, because remember, this is funny, true story. I remember it was a lightning warning. And we had to make everybody get out the pool. And everybody was crammed in. It wasn't a lot of people, though. It was like maybe like 250, 300 people.
But it didn't matter. It felt like a lot of people.
It didn't matter. I remember everybody's in there, like, you know, they crowded into the little bar area. Everybody's in there partying or whatever.
And that little room, that little
the little
hall.
side room. And then like the all clear came from like the weather station. So they're like, no more lightning, blah blah blah. And everybody just rushed out into the rain, and it was just like straight pump from
Yes,
from
it was
straight
vibes.
through.
It was
And
definitely
it was
vibes.
like that. I remember that's one of the most fun years of Hookie and Skyline.
It was.
That was a good time.
Don't
That
get me
was a
wrong,
good
I was
time.
sad when it moved from Skyline to, but I understood. I understood to why it moved to RFK and everything.
I still have people who ask us why y'all don't go back to Skyline.
Skyline, just for nostalgia purposes.
Where am I gonna put 6,000 people? If you could explain that to me.
Yeah, like
you
it's
know?
a hard thing to put, but it's just like that nostalgia. You Skyline is like the staple. Like, oh my God, this was it.
Yeah.
Now when people think of Hookie, like anybody in this area, I go out, we talk.
Yeah.
Hey, you been to Hookie at Skyline? I'm like, yeah, but it's not at Skyline no more. Oh, I remember when it's back, it was at Skyline. So I was like, man, you haven't been there in a minute.
Yeah.
So you need to go to the.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So-
yeah, it's interesting because I understand the purists are like, yo, it's not the same unless it's at Skyline. Da, da, da. I get it, but with time and growth, everything changes.
Everything
you
changes.
know what I'm saying?
And you have to adjust to that change.
Yeah, and you know, that's not to say we won't ever do something intimate like that again,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and just cap numbers or whatever. That's not to say that. I mean, it's possible. I mean, we're just so tied up with the Hookie brand right now.
Yes.
Like it's crazy. I mean, you know, even right now with what's going on and just, you know, we've been working out details and stuff,
Yeah.
and you know, we've been getting calls and having discussions and things like that. So, you know, it's funny, like you always come up with new ideas and new concepts, but it's like, all right, the practicality of actually putting it in motion takes a little bit of time, especially given what. One thing I'll say is like we'll never give less than what we've already given. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna.
That's what you told me. Like 1 year. That's what y'all said.
Like,
we was all talking. And that's what y'all said.
Once we're at this point, ain't no backstep.
Yes,
no
you can't backstep.
I would rather cancel my event than give you something subpar.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a matter of personal pride to me. That's just all that boils down to.
Man, because I know. Probably the audience can feel it, everything, but like there's so much emotion that comes with this that's crazy right now.
Oh, dude,
and, like
yeah.
I'm just happy to be here with you and talk to you. But I know there's some questions that I want to ask you so bad that we can talk for hours on this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how has the COVID situation, this pandemic, impacted you? Other than, I know the obvious, but has it helped you? I'm gonna kind of feed this to you. Has it helped you grow as a company? Has it helped you guys grow as a company, or is it takes you got time to just think about stuff?
Well, you know, I think the pandemic, being that this is something that none of us have seen ever in our lifetimes. I mean, the country hasn't seen the world hasn't seen this in over 100 years, right?
Spanish flu and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I think any business out there, I don't care right now what business you're in, whether it's promotions, whether you're in janitorial services, whether you own a software company, the pandemic has affected you in some way, and it has required you to adapt your business model.
True.
So has it made us grow? I do think so, because of other scenarios in terms of, you know, just the plans we had to make, how we had to adapt, how we had to look at our projections for the next year. Even to the point of when things clear up, how can we safely do an event?
Yes.
You know, especially an event that we're used to doing at the caliber we're used to doing, with the vibes we're used to doing.
Yes. Because I know everybody gonna be a little bit scared and trying to figure out what to do.
And at the end of the day, it's no point in doing something that's just gonna be, oh well, this wasn't what I was expecting, the Hookie boys slipping, blah 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 blah. You're gonna always have that from someone.
Yeah,
but
somebody gonna say it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, if the majority of my customers are happy and they feel that it was worth them spending their money to come to my event, I'm happy with that. Profit, no profit, that's irrelevant at that point. If they're satisfied with the product,
Yes.
that's what it's about.
Got you. Now, I've been on the inside and outside. I am blessed to consider you a friend.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna be real with you. From what I've known so far, we're gonna touch on how do you guys deal with the criticism? And I can state the obvious, but I want to hear it from you and your viewpoint.
Well, I may not be the best one to ask because generally I'm the militant one when it comes to this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've been known to be a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give
This is your space. Do your thing.
No. I got you. So for me, I don't really care about the criticism. I mean, let me not say that. I care about the criticism from the perspective of if it's constructive criticism.
True.
You know?
Because that's what matters.
Yeah. If you gonna shit on, oh, I'm sorry.
No. You can.
Okay.
Yeah. Speak.
If
bro.
you gonna shit on me just to shit on me, then I have a problem with that.
Yes.
If you have a legitimate gripe on some way that I fail to deliver or that I can improve,
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Got you.
There's a unfortunate tendency within our community for people to want to pop off first
Yes.
and say what they want to say, and then they get a response back in return that they don't like, and then they want to go plaster you on social media and stuff like that, right? I get that. I understand. Some people gonna do that. I prefer to deal with the person who's gonna approach me and say, look, Jason, I was disappointed with XYZ. Whatever. What do you think we could do about this? I can do that.
Mr. Johnny.
I got you. I can do that. It's the individuals who like to cause consternation and stuff for people just because they're not happy with whatever, you know? So at the end of the day, certain criticism we address head on. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, if it's something that, like I said, that's valid, if it's, you know, you had an issue with your ticket, or you had an issue with your bill, that kind of thing, or you didn't get in or something like that, you know, through no fault of your own, or somebody said your ticket was, you know, that kind of thing. Obviously, customer service is important.
Yes.
So we address that. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody who's just like, oh, why they do it at RFK and they ain't doing it at Capitol Skyline no more? Well, to be honest, I will tell you, like, until you have planned an event for in excess of 5,000 people, including liquor and food and artists and all that stuff, then holla at me.
Just come talk to me.
You know, if you've done anything more than a house party for like 20 people, holla at me.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people have to realize, I think most people see the end product, and that's all they have in their mind.
True.
They don't realize the 9 months
That you
of
take the
legwork.
planning.
Yeah. You know, we're literally the day Hookie weekend ends.
Yes.
We are already planning for the next year.
True.
Because we have to make calls, we have to book, sign contracts, all that kind of thing. So it's a non-stop.
That's what I'm learning now.
Yeah, it's a non-stop cycle. You know what I'm saying? So the reality of the situation that people don't realize is, like, they see all the glitz and glamour. They think, oh, look at the Hookie boys. They just up there popping bottles and having a good time counting money. Yeah, it's not that simple.
No, it's not.
You know? And a lot of people, especially when it comes to Hookie Weekend, don't see Hookie Weekend week.
Yes.
Which is literally 24 hours
sweat
a day.
And tears that come up
know?
with it. The arguments, the fights,
yeah, you know, I mean, listen, we had a 98-foot by 70-foot pool. Who they think blew that up and rolled it out?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't like a crew, you know what I'm saying? Like we sit out there and we sweat, but the reason we do that is because we want our customers to have an experience.
Yes.
We want them to see something they ain't never seen before.
Bro, the Hookie experience is the highlight of my year. Because we're going to get to that
thank you, man.
In a minute. In a minute, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
So, how... We're going to ask a serious question. Like I want to hear your viewpoint. And I know that the group ain't here. But I want to hear your opinion. I know you guys haven't thrown any events. So I can basically understand my answer to my question. But are you pro fetting or
Currently?
wait.
I don't care.
Or you're pro safety and health from a standpoint of a promoter and being as big as you are in that influential part. Oh my God. You know what I'm trying to say. In the DMV.
All right. Without a question, unequivocally, I'm 100% safety. You know, we were able to throw one event. Literally the week before,
Yes.
they shut everything down. That was PCP. You know?
And I missed that. I'm so mad I missed that.
I know, I remember. I'm sorry, bro. It was good times. Too.
I was training. I was military training.
Yeah, exactly. And you know,
We got somebody in the background talking about I went.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? But see, you were doing more important things. You're protecting our nation, so thank you, brother, for that as well. But you know, we got to throw one event, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a conversation that we've tossed back and forth. The reality of the situation is, me personally, and again, I think I can speak for my business partners, based on how our conversations, we could not in good conscience take the chance of exposing customers to a potentially deadly disease, right?
True.
Further to that, the potential to expose staff that have been loyal to us and work for us and expose them to that. Whether we take the precautions or not. You know, we could have hand sanitizer, we could try and do the circle 6 feet apart or whatever.
That's not gonna happen in Caribbean Fete.
The reality of a Caribbean Fete, when people start to get on the Johnny.
No. We're running low on Johnny, actually.
Exactly. We're going to reload in a minute. But the reality of the situation, us knowing, it's not that we're saying, and you know, some people may take it the wrong way and say, oh, we don't think that our customers can be responsible. It's not that. But me, as the business owner and the promoter, providing a venue for you, you may be responsible. It's not necessarily you I'm worried about. All I need is one irresponsible individual.
Yes, true.
That one irresponsible individual could infect hundreds of people. You know what I'm saying? So from someone with a background in healthcare and dealing with this kind of stuff, I just couldn't in good conscience see us doing anything. And we made that decision collectively. You know, whether there was debate behind it or not, yes and no. Of course, we debate everything. It's 5 West Indian man. You know, you can't come to a decision without debating.
So how do you feel about the promoters that are throwing the fetes now, whether it be Miami, here in our own area, Atlanta, because Atlanta acting a fool.
That man fucking up. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, listen, at the end of the day, right, you know, every business is different. There are no two businesses are the same, you know. I'll give you a quick analogy. Look at airlines right now. Delta, for example, they don't have nobody sitting in the middle seat.
Nope.
American,
I like Delta.
you know, and American, they got everybody full out.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So each business is gonna do what works for their business model and all of that. You know, as I said before, from the Hookie Life standpoint, it didn't make sense for us to even attempt to do anything. Just because of the restrictions on the numbers. Again, going back to what I said in terms of giving events that I feel is representative of our brand, and also just the financial liability that could potentially exist.
True.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody knows for sure what's gonna happen. I'll be honest with you. I've had people try to get over on us for getting water on them in a juve. You know, like the water hose. Like they get wet down.
And they try to sue you?
And yes.
What the
because supposedly they suffered some injury from the water. That kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, at the end of the day, we in a very litigious society. You know, and from our perspective, especially when I looking at our business and my business partners, believe it or not, this isn't all we do.
True.
We are 5 professionals. I mean,
same here. I speak.
You know what I'm saying?
We relate.
I'm talking. One of my business partners is literally a doctor. He has his PhD. You know, like he teaches people and shit.
Yes.
You know, so we always take those things into considerations before we make business decisions, because at the end of the day, there's much more to lose than this, because ultimately we have families, and we you know, we do this because we want to provide for our families, but we also want to promote the culture and have a good time. True. You know, but do you do that at the expense of potentially exposing yourself to liability for something, you know? And hey, Congress talking about this, the GOP talking about protections for businesses from COVID liability and shit.
Yeah.
Great. You know, I ain't a big fan of it, but I'm just saying, they're talking about it, so maybe that works to my benefit.
True.
Hey, legal, no legal, yeah, I don't really care. But at the end of the day, based on the current conditions, we had to make a decision. And for us, the most viable decision was to pause, reassess our situation as things move forward with the health guidelines and stuff like that, and continue to plan as if we just moving into 2021. Fuck 2020.
Yes.
We're going to leave that shit in the rearview mirror.
True.
And we're going to pump with 2021 and just keep making it better. But to answer your question, I don't have any problem with anybody making decisions on what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're going to do. At the end of the day, I can't tell you who to be. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we chose to take this course of action and just kind of cancel it and move to 2021. And you know,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I believe after doing this for 10 years back to back, it gave us a much needed pause.
Yes.
And reset. Because we've been going, like I told you, year after year, just rolling. I think it gave us a chance to pause, reset, assess where we're at as a corporation or a company, assess where we at with our offerings and what people like. What people like, what people don't like, what works, what doesn't work. And, you know, I think we positioned to continue to be successful. It's just a matter of getting through the tough times right now and, you know, just ready to pump once them and say go.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, this is my personal opinion. We have people that's going to be, they took the break and not using this time to perfect their craft. And when the world opens back up again, they're going to be stuck in March 13th of 2020, and we're going to be all moved on to 2021.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, if that's the one thing I could say to, you know, any of my fellow promoters, DJs, artists, whatever, you know, this time that you've had right now, where things are different, is an opportunity.
Yes.
I call it the gift and the curse. The COVID, we don't like the fact that we can't party, but this is a time for you to build yourself up. Like, whether it's like you're a producer, you should have 100 songs by now. You know what I'm saying?
You should.
You know, if you're a promoter, you should know these are my next 5 parties. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
All of that. Like, at the end of the day, we have to take this negative and turn it into a positive. You know what I'm saying? And just move forward. Just like what you're doing. I mean, we working during quarantine, right? Fed find us still them out. You know what I mean? We pumping. So at the end of the day, you know, you do what you gotta do and hope for the best. At the end of the day, it's all a gamble.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
In closing.
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to up and coming promoters, DJs, or somebody that's trying to perfect their talent? What advice would you give them?
I mean, I'll keep it simple. I could tell you 3 things. One, I mentioned this before, your team.
That's true.
Who work with people who want to work with you.
Yes, true.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I don't say it like, because a million people could want to work with you. But what I'm talking about are the people who are willing to commit to a vision and see it through. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. The second thing is don't get discouraged. Shit happens. True. And shit happens all the time.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're a new promoter and a venue fall through or a DJ fall through, just listen. There's always blue skies after the storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
You know, don't get discouraged. If you're really passionate about doing this, keep pumping. The last thing I could say is be original. Be original. Because at the end of the day, nobody want to do the same shit
over and over again.
over and over. Be original. Come up with something different. And don't be afraid to experiment. Shit is going to happen.
True.
And just do that. Like, real talk. Like, anybody out here, if they put their mind to it, they could do it.
True. Man, I like to thank you because there was so much. We got to have you again, personally, with everybody else. Because I love the vibe. I love, like, our history is different because I've been rocking with y'all for a while. Because we didn't even touch on Miami.
Oh, Lord.
Jamaica.
That's I didn't even think about. We talked about like everything else.
But we didn't touch on the growth that you guys as a company or organization have made and how y'all reach expands so far and wide now. That is wonderful within itself. So I'm gonna give you kudos and everything, and we'll have you again, especially with like at least 2 or more people and more vibe. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Oh, we love it. You don't know, recognize, Fete Finder, fully endorsed, you know.
Yes,
fully endorsed. Remember that.
Tell the people where they can find you at.
So yeah, everybody, check us out on IG, Hookie Life, HOOKIELIFE. Twitter, we same thing. Website, www. How many W's I just said?
3 W's. It's supposed to be 3 W's.
Y'all know what it is. www.hookielife.com. I thought I said like 4 of them. I was like, it sounded like a lot.
It was 3. It was 3.
You could check us out. My personal IG is Suave Digital VI. If you want to look me up, if you have questions, up and coming promoters, DJs, whatever. If you have questions on, how to break into the industry or whatever, please, I'll be happy to help you out. Like I said, this thing is a movement, and we're just trying to, keep it going.
At the end of the day, we are the community.
That's it.
So we want to stay together and lift each other up.
That's right.
This is the Caribbean. Is that we welcome in everybody within our community, even if you're outside and you want to come in and you enjoy the culture and stuff like that. This is what we're about, that unity and that family-oriented life.
Yeah, no discrimination. We love everybody. If you come from Asia, Europe, wherever, come through. We're going to drink, we're going to fete, and we're going to take a little wine on the road. Simple.
Guys, again, thank you for coming out. We're looking forward to having the rest of the crew out here on the set.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them over here. I'm gonna get them over here.
But we also looking for a little partnership later on, so your tickets to Fete Finder.
I got you.
And other ways that we can, because we're always gonna support each other, and I love that.
Yeah, I already know that.
All right, thank you for coming out, bro.
Brother, appreciate you, man.
And be safe out there. Do COVID, man.
Hey, for sure. Be safe.
And thank you for joining us.
Bless up.
Good night.